this thing on. Okay. I feel like I'm in like some sort of submarine from like a 1940s movie, and it's like I'm, beep, beep with the beeping in the background. So too funny. All right, let me get this adjusted so I can read your comments. Whoever has showed up so far, if you could just put something in the comments though that lets me know that you can see me and you can hear me, that would be great. Sometimes TikTok YouTube is good like that, and sometimes it's not. Hey, look, we got two Kimmies. We got two Kimmies in the house. I love that. I love that. Kimberly and Kim. Oh, do we have a Kim trifecta? My gosh, check it out. Kimberly and Kimmy and Kim. You guys. I love that because I was thinking of my cousin Kim, who passed away this time last year when I was on my morning walk. So thank you. You make me think of her. Awesome. Okay. We got coffee and calm. Kim Harris. I love it. Kim Jen, good to see you. Tatiana, nice to see you. I love it. The Kims are in the house. And Cheryl Siegel and Becky. So cool. And people who don't feel like being in the comments. I know you're here. No big deal. No pressure. All right, you guys. Let me plug in my phone because I was using my battery. How do I plug it in here? I was using my battery. There we go. Yeah, Patty, I heard that you were building the IKEA shelving. Talk about something that I need to calm down my nervous system about and to chunk it down and to do a little bit of a time. IT Princess, nice to see you as well. Very cool. Therapy Gal Sue and Marietta. There we go. Awesome. Hey, Marietta, while we're doing this, maybe you can post some of those pictures of that couch onto the Facebook and get that couch out of there. There we go. Therapy Gal Sue, syncing my phone to the TV to watch as I declutter my big to-do file that I've had since June. I love it. You guys, use our time together for good and not evil, okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to be here keeping you company, but I can chat in the background as you are doing something of what I like to call the decluttering, the surface decluttering level. Something that may not require a ton of thought, but it's something that is going to help you get along. I love it. Kimmy's working on a jigsaw puzzle. How cool is that? I love that because your eyes and a part of your brain are engaged in that. And the other part that's attached to your ears and your heart are listening. So wonderful. The other good thing is, frankly, is even if you go a little bit deeper and you're doing decluttering of, instead of the surface, you're going into storage. That is the level where you will need to listen to yourself more than me. I highly recommend, it's okay to tune me out and tune into what's going on in your head and your heart, because that's really where the decluttering happens. So if you miss some of what I'm saying during the next hour or so, that's okay. That's one of the reasons we record these, and this will be up on the August playlist so you can fill in the blanks of what you lost, okay? What you didn't hear. So please, I would love it more than anything if you were an active participant in this YouTube live. And I don't mean by just being in the comments, though. That is, if you need help and you have a question that you need answers, please, that's where you would do that. But perhaps it's writing down, actively write down things, actively sort through things, be active during this. Unlike school, this is not a hierarchy, and this is not a classroom or a factory where you all sit there and pay attention to me and you get in trouble if you get distracted. Screw that. I want you to hear what I have to say if it helps you, but also to be doing things that the only thing I ask is that you are actively doing things during our time together that is going to make you feel better, destination feeling good about what you got done in the next 54 minutes or so. That whatever you're doing is something that is getting you towards whatever destination you're excited to get to. Okay, that's all I care about. And so many things, even if they're things you don't want to do, can be stops along the road to get you to where you're going. There we go. Kara says, I'm at the camp till Sunday. I have bracelets with me to research and sort. I will start that. I love that. And having fun with that is really cool. I love to research. I like to discover. I literally wrote that word down. I have a list of kind of words that make me feel good. And I realized that part of what I love in life is that feeling of discovering something that is new to me. It may have been there for decades, but it's new to me. That's, I think, why I get such a kick out of staying in different hotels when I travel, is discovering what room are we going to have? What does the room look like? What are the amenities here? What is this place? When was this place built? What are the designs? What do the soaps smell like? Do we have a soap bar or do we have a pump spray? You know? Okay, Kim K is going to organize bills and papers. All right. When Kim K is organizing bills and papers, if you feel like you want to play along with that too, let me give you some tips. You may already know how to do this, but as I like to say, can't hurt, might help. When you're organizing bills and papers, this is a category of paperwork. And I want you to chunk down that category into other categories, you know? And so I say this, you look at, don't necessarily get involved with the actual content immediately, but just look very superficially, the surface level of your paper. Look for a logo. Look for a logo that would indicate where it came from and start to make piles for the different logos. Start to make piles for the different typefaces. So for example, here's the stuff I got from Verizon. I know that Verizon has a red and black logo, so I'm just going to look for the red and black Verizon logos and make a pile there. Then I know that Pico has a blue logo, so then I'm going to start to look for that. And then I'm going to start to, so chunking down. Categorizing equals chunking down. Chunking down equals categorizing. And this is when it can be beneficial. And notice my hands are even going kind of in that spreading out notion. That's why I always say start with the surface, so you have a surface to spread out and sort. So paperwork, categorize it. I love it. All right. Yes. And anything you are deciding to go through, whether it's on the surface, when it's on the surface and you know where it goes away, you just put it away. No big deal. But when you have to decide and you have let things accumulate, chunking down and categorizing is going to be your friend. It also decreases the overwhelm because you're not getting emotionally involved in the content of every page. You're just putting it into, you're making one big pile into smaller, more specific piles. Okay. Hope that helps. Yeah. And Kimmy says too, you learn how little you need to live on while in a hotel room. It's true. You wear the same clothes over and over again, things like that. I love it. Yes. Reminder that it's okay, Patty. Priorities and focus changes your breathing. And yes, drink the water. I love it. I love it. Kim Harris is at the office today. Now, many of us have offices around our house. It's funny because this is what I guess I would call my office, but I don't like the word office, so I call it my room, but I don't like room. Studio, I don't know. Do you have an office space in your house? A lot of times, I will say this, growing up with people who became overwhelmed with paper and didn't deal with it and it accumulated, I know what that's like. So you're my people. If you have piles of paper around your house that you're not dealing with, I can help you with that like nobody's business. Okay? I can help you with that like nobody's business. So if you're doing that, start with what I recommended. High level, just sorting things into like items together. And then if you get stuck and you don't know what to do, that's what I'm here for. Okay? And I love it. Kara and Carla are talking about hydrangeas. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah. And trust me, I love Kara. Kara has Kara's Gardens on TikTok. I love her yard for her. I love looking at the pictures. I would love you as a neighbor, but I know that's not right for me and my lifestyle right now. So I love what I have in my yard. So be inspired by people, and create the world you want to live in. Now, this is funny. Wendy says paperwork was a big part of my declutter journal. I shredded so much, my shredder needed to cool down a lot. So notice, even a machine, if you do it a lot, it needs to take some time to settle down and calm down and cool down. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to cool down. And when I feel cooled down, as opposed to all hot and bothered, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected versus hot and bothered, right? So notice the difference. Kind of, we said coffee and chaos or coffee and calm. Would you rather be all hot and bothered or calm, cool, and collected? I prefer to be calm, cool, and collected. Okay. Yay. Okay, you've put it off for too long. Okay. You know what? When you say I've put it off for too long, that can be beneficial to help kind of kick you in the pants. But if that makes you feel bad, Kim, here's another thought. How about this? I choose to believe that starting the decluttering of my office is right now is the perfect time to do it, the just right time to do it. I feel ready to do it now. I didn't feel as ready then. And now I've got Beth to hang out with me. So I've got somebody there in case I get stuck. Okay. So notice what you say to yourself and if it's helpful or hurtful. And if you think it's going to help, but it doesn't really, then change it into something different. Okay. You've put that off for too long. Get to it. Urgh. No. You know what? I feel ready to do it now, so I'm going to do it. Okay. Yeah. Now, I love it. Yes. And yeah, I was going to be so focused this summer, says Kara. Well, we traveled a lot, had fun, and I did manage to sort my jewelry hard. Back to work in the fall, no judgment. Yeah. Even dirt needs a chance to rest. You use that dirt all the time, you're going to strip it of its nutrients. So let yourself go fallow. Let yourself have the summer off. Cut yourself some slacks. Some slack. Okay. Judy. Yeah. I love it. And yes, along those lines, another lesson for myself, says Wendy, I needed to give myself permission to take breaks and not get down on myself for not getting decluttering done. The only pressure you're putting on yourself is you. Okay? So please remember the concept of this being a journey and a road trip. You wouldn't be mad at your car if it ran out of gas because you drove it till it was empty. Don't be mad at yourself when you start to feel empty yourself as far as needing to sit and rest and recover. Okay? Yeah. No, Kim, I get it. Everybody, do not dull the shine of the fun you had this summer by feeling guilty about what you didn't do. I love that you said you only feel a little guilty, but I will say this. Do not dull the shine on what you did. Own it. Feel good about what you did this summer. I didn't do a damn stitch of decluttering, and I'm okay with that because what I did was I lived. I lived, Auntie Mame. I lived. Okay. I went traveling. I went to the beach. I did my stuff. I farted around. I read a book. You don't have to be productive all the time. You are not a machine. You are not a machine. You deserve to enjoy the life you have and not always be working. Okay. And yeah, Kimberly Dugard, Kim, Switzerland was amazing. Do not dull the shine of what you did. Okay. Please don't. And choose to say, and I decide now, with not a lot of drama and guilt, now is when I'm going to get it up. And the funny thing is, think about it, you guys, we are products of the society we grow up in. So just think about it. I haven't been in school since the 90s, really, because I got some, advanced certificates and stuff like that. And yet, I feel like a elementary school kid every single year. I get excited when it's about to be summertime and I want to go and play and have the summer off. And now around this time of year, I get a little bit, it's going to be back to school time. Now, I haven't been back to elementary school since the 70s. Okay. But our entire community, our entire country is based on that notion of summers off and going back to school and all that type of thing. So use that to your advantage and have fun in the summer. And then go, when it's not as hot and overwhelming and fun, then you get that back to school vibe. And then you're going to kind of, knuckle down, buckle down, do it. You're going to do some stuff when you feel better. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. Lady Bandit says, I'm taking your advice and scheduling 30 minutes of knitting today. I'm really looking forward to it. I am looking forward to hearing how that went. I look forward to hearing tomorrow how that went. Did you show up for your 30 minutes of knitting? I hope you did. Did people try to interrupt you during that 30 minutes? And if so, what did you do? Did you try to interrupt you during that 30 minutes of knitting? Did you allow yourself to be distracted and allow yourself to get back at it? Or did you force yourself, I must knit for 30 minutes without stopping? No. Relax and have fun. That's what it's all about. Yeah, and Patty, I can imagine. So Patty's daughter is going off to school. She's going off to college, and Patty is helping her get ready. Emotional toll is very real. It is. It is. That is showing you're a human, and you're at an ending of one chapter and the beginning of another for both your daughter and you. And sometimes these transition periods can feel even more emotional than being on one side or the other. I know this because I tend to get very kind of, I don't know what the word is, but little, no, it's end of summer and it's beginning of school and it's going to get cold. And notice my body language is all like protecting myself. The end of one thing, but I often forget that it's the beginning of another thing, that it can be a bright, crisp fall morning, that I'm not going to be all shiny because I'm sweating. But the transitions can be bumpy. That's okay. It's like going from, when they're repaving the roads and it's all bumpy here and it's smooth up here, but in the meantime, you need to get your car kind of up on that little bump. So it's going to be temporarily bumpy, but it's going to be okay. Allow yourself to feel those feelings. Don't tell yourself you're wrong for feeling them. Feel them. The more you feel your feelings, frankly, the easier they just flow in and out of you. All right? If you try to hold on to them, you're going to be afraid that you're going to feel that way forever, and you may feel that way. I spent way too long in my 20s in my 20s and the 80s, holding on to crappy feelings and not letting them go. I'd never do that again. Never do that again. All right? All righty. So here's a fun thing, okay? I love it. I love that. I see some interaction here. Kara and Carla, both of you, I know, because I'm the all-seeing, great and powerful Oz. No, I'm the person who is tagging everybody who's on the Pen Pal group. You two are both in the Pen Pal group. I think it would be really cool if you emailed each other from the Pen Pal group, and maybe the both of you could just email everybody and just put a CC out there to email everybody in the Pen Pal club and say, hey, it's Kara. Hey, it's Carla. Just wanted to say hey from Destination Decluttered while Beth is gone. If you want to reach out to me, here I am. Okay. And, so I just offer to you, you too could help connect yourselves and other people. Yay, Carol will do it. Thank you. Good people, because you'll be helping yourself and other people. Yeah. And hey, just so you know, Patty, Lady Bandit saying, it is hard to watch your baby leave for college. Again, the bird leaving the nest. My daughter is at Purdue getting her PhD in chemistry. Rock on, smart women. Yeah. Now, depending upon where you live and what the weather's like, Wendy says, I am ready for fall. I am over the triple-digit weather. Yeah, I might be kind of over that too. I didn't want to do any chores and I didn't get down on myself for it. No. How can you do that? Had to tell my backseat drivers to shush because nothing is pressing. The only notice, nothing is pressing. The pressing is you pressuring yourself. There we go. Sue says, y'all are inspiring. Now, I know you're from Texas and Carla's from Alabama, so the whole y'all thing. I'm looking around this office thinking it might be time to declutter the 20-year-old furniture for new. Reward for finishing this room this month? Could be. Reward yourself. There we go. There we go. I love that. Reward yourself for a life well lived. Have fun looking for new furniture. What you may find, frankly, here's a fun thing. Sue, we have a couch in our living room. It is vintage, and I paid maybe $50 for it, and it is a very cool style, but it's also literally probably about 70 years old. So it's getting a bit worn, and it's not as comfortable as something that is new, supposedly. So I decided, in trying to expand and have a flexible nervous system and comfort zone around spending big money, that I would allow myself, when I was out in Palm Springs, to buy a new couch. I would go to the place. I'm not going to thrift it. I'm going to go to the new place, mid-century modern furniture. And what I found was I was a bit like Goldilocks. It was fun to look at them and imagine them in my house and sit down on them. And yet I didn't find one that seemed any better than the one I had at home. But it was fun to go looking for them. It was fun to go sit. This one's too hard. This one's too soft. I can't put my drink there. And so I came home, frankly, with a new appreciation for the one I do have. So have fun with that idea and play with it. You may buy new furniture if you truly like it, but notice what you don't like about the furniture you have now, so you can create, this is what I'm looking for. It can be destination new couch, but what are the specifics around that? Not just new, because new can be worse. It can be less comfortable, crappily made, wearing out, So there we go. Carla Jane says, I'm trading my truck in for a 2-seater, less room for the backseat driver. Oh, that's the bummer. Okay, I hate to be the breaker of bad news, or just the breaker of news. The bad news is, no matter how many seats in your car, the backseat driver is always there. They are always there. But the good news is that means that your co-pilot is there with you at all times too. Okay? So those two dance together, and depending upon who you want to lead, do you want the backseat driver to keep you stuck on the sidelines? Everybody's going to laugh at you. You don't know how to dance. Versus your co-pilot who's like, let's go out there and cut a rug. What's the worst that can happen? People will be inspired by our dancing. You will have both of those voices in your head for the entirety of your life. So knowing that, learning how to quiet the backseat driver down right now in your life will just give you acres and decades of life ahead of you that's going to be more quiet, because you can more easily quiet down the yelling kids in the backseat, the crying kids, the fearful kids in the backseat, the mean kids in the backseat, whatever they're doing to try to stop you from doing what you and your loving, caring spirit, soul, co-pilot, good buddy want to do. The fear will be with you all the time, but so will the love and courage. Okay? So will the love and courage. Now you can drown out. Yeah, I need a better car stereo to drown out the backseat drivers, Fender speakers with smooth sound, so you can belt out some good tunes instead. Yes. Notice the good tunes you belt out. I sang a lot of sad songs to myself, and it wasn't Elton John. I sang a lot of sad songs to myself in my 20s, so I walked around like a mopey moperson. I wish I had listened to more punk rock at the time, but I was too busy with the Smiths and Patsy Cline, because I felt comfortable, sadly, in my sadness, because it was easier to focus on that than the big world outside of me. Okay. Hey, there we go. I love this. Lady Bandit using AI to help her. I took a picture of a bookcase whose arrangement I was tired of. I used AI and it gave me some new ideas. Yeah. getting inspiring. Inspiration can come anywhere. I love it. I love it. What a cool idea. Yeah. Yeah. Now back to the couches. Again, I like to bop around because that's where the way that the comments come in. I know Therapy Gal Sue says, I know this space isn't working. I would say, how do I know it's not working? What isn't working for you? The opposite of that will work better for you. Yes, I need to look at why and what would be more functional and beautiful and enjoyable. The backseat drivers want me to start looking for new deep breaths to write down ideas as I declutter. Yes, because you can still go out and look for new, but you will have a better idea of the ingredients of what's going to make a successful recipe of that furniture that works better for you in that room when you have your shopping list. I am looking for, I can focus on, because it can be easily overwhelming and you can get distracted by things unless you know what to focus on. All right. So Heather MC, hey, you. Morning. Have a dozen projects and not sure where to start. This heat just slows me down. Yeah, people were talking about that. So when you're feeling that, first of all, get yourself some waters. Get yourself some water. And I will just offer to you, start with something easy to just get yourself started. Start with something that's not going to make you sweat a lot. Maybe if you're hot and you want to cool down. Now, I know Heather MC, I know you and I have talked about paperwork before, and I'll just share with you, if you just got here, that there are some people right now in the comments that are working on decluttering some paperwork. Now, I know you and I went through a bunch, so you may have less to declutter. That may be something that doesn't move your body a lot that you could get started with, but pick something that's easy, that's doable to just get yourself started. Okay? Yeah. Sorry, Tatiana is asking, I have a question. I love it. What documents do you really need to keep after passing, trying to declutter parents' old paperwork? Okay, so Tatiana, I would highly recommend getting a more official answer than me. And that's when AI and Google are going to be your saviors. But what I want to offer to you, having been a person who has decluttered a lot of paperwork from her parental home, but not all of it, is I want everybody here to think of paperwork as evidence. The paper you're saving is proof. Paper is evidence of something. So what is the evidence? What is that proving? And is it something you may need to prove to somebody after they're dead? So for example, I know I brought up this before, but there was a piece of paper that I found in my parents' attic that literally was, it was funny because it was an indication of a different time. And it was literally like almost like a personal note from customer service at Texaco, thanking my dad for always being prompt and paying his gas bills, like his, gas in the car bills. That was proof to me that my dad paid the bills. Do I need to save that for anybody out in the real world? No. I showed it to my sisters, right? So I ask you, notice what it is, what does it prove, and who might you need to prove it to? Now, on the flip side, one thing of paperwork that I need to find in my parents' house is proof that they actually bought the burial plot. Now, I may not be able to find that, but I can get it from stuff. So think of paperwork as proof. Okay. And McDoug's is paperworking too. All right. And think of what you want to prove and who you might need to prove it to. And if you don't have that paperwork, and then just err maybe on the side of caution. Do I need to keep my parents' credit card statements from the last 50 years proving that they paid these? No, because that stuff can be found elsewhere. Does that help, Tatiana? Everybody, think of paperwork as proof of something. What does it prove, and who would you need to prove it to? All right. Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. Wendy LCM says, sometimes sad music is soul cleansing. I used to love to listen to Patti Lovelace, but The Wheel when I need a good cry. Yeah, I used to listen to music like that. And I still will be emotionally emotional when I hear a sad song. But I don't bring it on me now. I bring on me the good vibes or just the quiet. But I love it. Now, Patty is saying totally not on subject, but need TS, no new album. I'm thinking you're saying Taylor Swift, maybe. What I will offer, I will just share with you. so freaking adorable. Seeing Taylor Swift and her football player boyfriend who has the brother, seeing them together. Doesn't that so cute. So cute. And she is such a powerful woman. She's I think she's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Carla Jane, you got it good. All righty. You know. So, I offer to you, what is this and why am I keeping it? What does this prove? And think about it. We think about paperwork as proof. There's other things that you use as proof or evidence. Jason and Travis. Okay, which one is her boyfriend? Because they both have beards and they both play football. And I think they're both from, well, I know, okay, Travis is her boyfriend. Travis is my boyfriend. Isn't that kind of like one of her songs? Karma is whatever. Okay. Yeah. I have always loved Shake It Off. I learned it when I was in jazzercise, when I used to take jazzercise. That song, such a great bop and such a great theme, you know? So very cool. Oh, I love it. Now I'm okay. Okay. JR Girl says, and I'm sorry, I skipped it. I skipped over that. I apologize. Where did you learn all the mental part of this? It's very helpful. Couple of places, frankly. First of all, I knew that I could deal with the surface area of stuff, but I wasn't doing the deep things, but I was afraid. So I started finding help. Now, I didn't go for, I'll be honest with you, I did not go for like mental health help or therapy, though many people do and they have great success with it. I looked for the helpers that I could feel like I could connect with, because there are many people out there offering advice. And I just kept my ear open for ideas that sounded interesting to me and then who was saying them. And I will share with you, I used to be very judgy about self-help and things like that. And so I didn't look for help for decades. But when I did, I saw that there was help out there. And honestly, JR Girl 22, a lot of the core things are the same, but it depends on who it is. So I found a really helpful book. I will share with you this book. It was called You Are a Badass at Making Money. It was like my first quasi-official self-help book. And I learned that there were thoughts that I had about money that made me feel a certain way. And then that made me do a certain thing. And I thought, well, if this happens with money, I bet it happens with other things too. And then I started to really tune into the thoughts in my head. So reading a self-help book helped me. Then listening to podcasts or finding videos of people, getting recommendations from other people. The woman who did my taxes recommended this guy that she got great. She thought was super. So I went to a seminar. Ooh, that was an adventure, let me tell you. Different strokes for different folks, but finding a voice, a way of talking, a way of presenting information that makes it easier for you to click and get it versus struggling to understand the fancy words. That was what really helped me. And then I realized how much that helped me, and that if I was going to want to help people with their clutter, I needed to get some official training. So once again, I saw what was available for life coaching, and I got my certification as a life coach. But I looked for a way to do that that felt aligned with who I am. There are life coaching schools out there that I saw the people coming out of that, and I knew that it would be a square peg in a round hole, and I didn't want to do that. It didn't feel genuine to me, but I got some official training and certification and testing and all that. And I continue to grow. I read books, I listen to people, I write down things, I coach, and I learn from my clients too. I listen to my clients and I hear what they say, that they think they're the only person who thinks that, that what they've got a thought. And then I can reassure them that many people have this. So the mental part of it, that's kind of where that came from. I hope that helps and answers your question. And yeah, and I feel good about what I do. And, yeah, I love it. Squirrel, jazzercise. I know, Becky Ridgway. But you know what? I like music. I like dancing, and I was moving my body, Oh, thank you. I love this. Wendy says, I ended up in therapy, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot to be good about that. My therapist has checked out your channel and thinks you are great. Why? Why? My stars. I feel like, that's very cool. I will also share with you, Wendy LCM, that I have had clients tell me who have been to therapy that they're like, I have learned so much more from you than I ever have in therapy. And it's kind of like that. You know, anybody watch that woman? I can't remember her name. She's from Pittsburgh on TikTok and she has all the wedding tips. I'm not getting married, but she has all the dramas. And it's like, meanwhile, back at the reception area, she does that kind of thing. It cracks me up. Yeah. So JR Girl says I need to also, Carla. So let me, I'll be very clear about this. So I do work with one-on-one clients. I love it. I love it. Currently, literally for the next 2 weeks, because I'm traveling, my calendar is shut off because I don't want you thinking you can get an appointment with me when I'm not available. However, JR Girl 22, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, the best way to even just dip your toe into that is to join the Destination Decluttered email group. Go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. There's a page about coaching. There's a page with testimonials. There's a page that describes a lot of what I do. So you can learn about it that way. But then also when you get to be part of the email group, and it's free, it's free and low key, is I will let those folks know before the public when the calendar's open so you can grab the best date to sign up. And then a consultation is what happens. Now, a consultation is free. And a consultation is basically a conversation between you and me where you tell me what you're struggling with coaching-wise, or excuse me, clutter-wise. And I listen to you to basically ensure that what I offer will help you with the level of clutter that you have and all that, to make sure we would work together to get what you want. So that's what a consultation is. Again, it's free, it's low key. It's just a convo on Zoom between the two of us. And if it sounds like what you're struggling with is something I can help you with, I tell you about how I coach, the 10-week program, how much it costs, when we show up, all that stuff. And I answer every goddamn question under the sun that you have so that you're not afraid to sign up for coaching, but you've got all of the answers so you can make a decision that feels good to you. Okay. So Carla Jane says, Beth, about how many people do you typically coach at a time on average, please? Do you try to keep it at a certain number? Really good question, Carla. And I will share this with you. I kind of want to help everybody, but I am a limited resource. So I coach people basically Monday through Friday. I don't do it on the weekends, and I don't keep coach in the evenings because I keep boundaries around my time for personal reasons, weekends. But then also I am an early bird. And so I don't coach in the evenings because I know I would be like digging for, I'd be running out of gas, frankly. So I never coach more than 20 people at any given time. Now I have people that I've been coaching for years and I have new people that come in and leave. So I try to keep it under 20 people to ensure that I have enough time to recoup my energy between clients and show up for everybody with quality energy in my tank. Okay. And so, but I will always make time for people who need my help. Okay. And don't worry, I have gotten so much good. Like I over scheduled myself when I first started coaching and I was doing back to back to back and I learned the hard way. This is one of the reasons I tell you guys to when you are decluttering, to chunk it down and to make spaces between things. Even me right now going from a TikTok live to a YouTube live, kind of sandwiched together with no gap in between. I will only do that for maybe 2 hours in a row, possibly 3, but other than that, I usually need to pee. Okay. Oh, very cool. Well, thank you. Carla Jane says she will help you change your life and your family's future. And Kim says, Beth's coaching is one of the best things I have ever done. I'm still a work in progress, as are we all, but I learned so much. Oh, I love that. And that really does mean a lot because I could be out here being a fake commercial, telling you how great I am, but that's not what I do. I think I'm pretty good at what I do, but I will say to you, it means a wicked lot a wicked lot. And if you're from the Boston area, you know what means a wicked lot to me. When the people that I've worked with coaching are happy to share that it worked out for them, that they really got something out of it. And yeah, we are all works in progress. Okay. We are all works in progress. Like right now, update, beep, 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 beep. This just in. We've got an update from Kim K. Made a dent in the paperwork. I love it. AKA chunked in specific piles. And now walk away from it. Refill your water. Yeah. Yeah, Carla, 20 is my max because anything over, even that is kind of creeping up there. But I want to be there for as many people who want one-on-one coaching. And just to be clear, and I love it, Kim K says, Beth is wicked pissa at this. Yeah, I consider myself wicked awesome. Heather MC, right, we've coached together too. Chiming in to verify, Beth is the best. A life-changing coach, worth every penny. Highly recommended and planning on coaching again with her in the future. I always have room for you, hon. You just let me know. I'll see you in September and we'll talk about it. But I am there for when you are ready. I am there for when you are ready. Now, except for when I'm not, which like the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be off the digital grid with my hubs and seeing some fam and stuff like that there. But I love being available for the people who are, and I literally have this written down, who are ready and willing to do the work together. I am there with you. I'm not there like a drill sergeant getting you up out of bed, but I encourage you to do this. Oh, we all love coaching with Beth. So good. Thank you. And this is not meant to be some sort of fake organic thing. This just happened naturally because I hate fake sincerity. So thank you guys. That really means a lot. And how cool that we have a what's the word I want to use? We chunked it down into categories. One of the categories of people showing up here is people who are coaching and have coached with me. I love it. Yeah. Aw. Yeah. And here's the deal too, please just to know, we are all works in progress. Because if we're not, it means we're stopped, which means we're stopped growing. And I always think it's great to be stretching and growing and bending your body, your mind, learning things, even being ready to learn new things. You know? Yeah, the declutter community. Yeah. And so keeping yourself ready and available to learn new things, not shutting down and trapping down and saying, no, I can't. You know? Now, here's a funny thing. Carla Jane says, we need team shirts. Oh, my Lanta, the decluttering dames. Yeah. What I will offer to you is, I thought early on, you've seen me drink out of the mugs and I had some stickers that I gave away. Like, oh, merch. That would be a fun way of making money and getting the word out. That's old school. I know that stuff would also be potential clutter. That at a certain point in your life, you may be like, oh, I don't fit in my declutter t-shirt anymore. So I say, wear your declutter badge in your heart. Carry it with you at all times. Help people with what you learned. That's the best way to do this type of thing, you know, is to remind people to make sure they're feeling okay. Can I get you a sip of water? Breathe down, calm down, slow down. Why don't we just get those thoughts out of your head? Why don't you just write them down? When you've written them down, let's just get curious about them. What's one you can chunk down further? You can coach people. And I don't mean this like to coach, capital C coach, but the things you learn from me, you can help yourself with, and they're then available for you if you see somebody else who's struggling. Okay. Yeah. So very cool. Beth's Bad Butts. Yeah. See, we'd come up with some goofy name. I haven't come up with anything. Like even when I try to say, hey, y'all, when I'm opening an email, I'm like, hey, declutterers, hey, gang, hey, you know, if there was something snappy, but it's all good. In the club, we all fam. Am I right? Now, I love this. Kara just cleaned up the bedroom and I have a small pile for the store at the dump. I hope you guys have dumps where you are and a store at the dump. I love Maine. Very cool. Yeah. Okay. So Narelle Francis says, I have had to live quite frugally raising my 5 sons. Okay. I still find it difficult to spend money on myself. 100%. I'm working on it. Narelle, I will just offer to you that it never occurred to me how much my financial upbringing affected my current life until I read this book. It's called, so I'll just offer it to you. Um, it's called You Are a Badass at Making Money. It's got a green cover. And the woman, the coach who wrote it, is a woman who I find pretty hysterical herself. Her name is Jen Sincero, like sincere, Sinceiro. You Are a Badass at Making Money. She has a first one called You Are Badass in General. That's the yellow one. I read that after the money book, but the money book really helped me to understand it again. The thoughts I had about money that made me feel feelings, and the thoughts and feelings that I had that resulted in whether I spent money or didn't. I'm a work in progress. Is that as well? All right. Yeah. So yeah, Carla Jane, getting a jersey made. Here's what I would love for you to do is make a jersey with a t-shirt that you already have. Put something, write it on marker and use a t-shirt you already have. I'm all about upcycling. There we go, with Bethisms on the back. I'm not going to stop my fans. I mean, Taylor Swift has fans, you know. Do what you feel is good, but just know that the best gift you could give to me and the best way you can spread the word is to learn and absorb and practice, and then, reach out with people with the skills you learned. All aboard the declutter bus. Boop, boop. I love it. Yay. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so JR Girl, I followed you on TikTok and now I love YouTube because I quit TikTok. Yes, I was off TikTok for a while and now I'm there temporarily. But, things often change, and that's one of the reasons, I'll be completely honest with you. That's one of the reasons why I continue to encourage people to become a part of the declutter email group, is because if TikTok goes down, you lose all those connections. If YouTube goes down, you lose all those connections, but email will rarely go down. So we would be able to stay in touch. Okay. So there we go. Oh, interesting. So much like Patty, Kara says, this is the first empty nest fall for me, and I'm ready for it. Looking for a new use sectional, new to us sectional. We may have owned more couches than anyone we know, and letting things go and embracing what works. Ooh, Dawn has one of her books too. Yeah, I will say the first two were my faves, but I have all of them because I am a fan, and I wanted the T-shirt and the magnet and stuff like that. So, yay, Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, and Wendy, yeah, I quit TikTok for a while, but I came back because I realized, and especially the way people find me, more new people find me on TikTok, and then I try to encourage them to hop on the other platforms. There we go. Every bag I donate, I'm thinking of Beth. Yes, to the turn of every breath I take. Yes. Well, there we go. I'm glad I went back to TikTok. That's where I found you. Yeah. And what I try to do is use TikTok primarily to just let people know that I'm around. But you know what? We do what works for them. Yeah, and different places are set up different ways. There's different benefits. I love the fact that somebody said years ago they encouraged me to upload my recorded TikToks to YouTube. That's how we have almost 800 videos that you guys can pick and choose from when I'm gone next week and the week after that. So I just offer to you. There's good stuff all around. There's good stuff all around. If you look for the bad, you're going to find the bad in a minute. In a minute. But if you practice looking for the good, you will also see that there's good people, there's good stuff, even within the clutter in your home. You may look at it and go, mwah, right? Mwah. But there's some good stuff there. Keep the good stuff. Let go of the crap. Keep the good stuff. I don't know if that's a Bethism worth, embroidering on a pillow, but it could be up there. But notice, it's taking stock. What is taking stock? It's like you're in the stock room. Your life, your home is a stock room. Your home is the place where you store all of the items that you have accumulated in your life. If you keep on just accumulating and not using the stock room, your stuff is going to get built up. So stop the accumulating, even just temporarily. And like somebody said on the TikTok live, start to use what you have in the house. Start to eat the stuff from your pantry before you go out and buy more stuff, And use what you have and see what you have. It could be an adventure. It doesn't have to be a chore. It can be an adventure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, very cool. Kara says, I reinvented myself on TikTok and found Beth last spring, and she and this gang have really helped me focus on what matters. Yes, and I agree, JR Girl, that they censor. I do have issues with um, with TikTok as a platform for getting certain kinds of information out there. Do not get me wrong. I know that that happens. However, I also will use it for what is going to work for me. And so luckily the good news is that it's getting the word out to people who are struggling with clutter right now. No platform is perfect, and I get that. And I totally understand if you want to boycott TikTok or boycott whatever. You do you, I do me. But what I will offer to you is what I found was I was doing a disservice to the people who are struggling with clutter that don't know that there's help out there if I was only on YouTube and they weren't. So I'm playing around with it, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What I just realized, speaking of seeing how it goes, is I just glanced down at the clock. You guys, we have had such fun, and we've got about 8 minutes left. We've got 8 minutes left. My husband says they're making noise. Not only are they doing some construction in the basement, I think there's some drum playing as well. Welcome to my world. I wouldn't change it for a thing. Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. Carla Jane says, I saw this morning, anyone can go live. Yeah. So that means, again, we need to decide who we listen to and who we don't. Yeah. And JR Girl, I'm excited to see you all in the group. What I will offer to you is, so the email group is everybody who has given me permission to email them. So I email all y'all, and that's one way that I keep you all informed of cool stuff that's going on. The other way I keep you informed of what's going on with me and Destination Decluttered is because there is a hidden page on my website that only people in that group get access to. So that's the schedule, that's the habit tracker. There's all sorts of fun things there. So jump in, play around. If you're interested in connecting with people, this is something we are organically baby stepsing it into starting. I'm calling it the Pen Pal Club because there have been enough people that I've reached out to that have gotten back to me to say, I would love to be able to reach out to other people. Now, I am hyper protective of my crew, my people. I am like a Leo in that way. So I say to you, I will not share anybody else's contact information with anybody unless I get their permission. So the Pen Pal Club is the folks who say, I would like to get in touch with other people, and I don't mind if they get in touch with me. Okay? So I offer to you, if that's the kind of interaction you want, all you need to do is email me at the email you get my stuff from, beth@destinationdecluttered.com, and just say, please add me to the Pen Pal Club, and also include the state you live in, because that is at least one kind of identifying thing that's specific yet general enough that can help people kind of learn that, who knows, you could be somebody's next door neighbor. Okay? So I offer that to you. Okay? Yeah. Yes. And Carla Jane, I will be back home later today. If you have time, can you send new emails so I can send to everyone? Yes. So I will say this. Anybody from today who wants to be part of the Pen Pal Club, get in touch with me so that I can send Carla, and I'll send Kara, if that's okay with you, the both of you, the master list of the most people sent out, and then I'll send it out to the rest of the people. Okay. There we go. Yeah. If you're sick of people who don't get it, don't hang out with them. Now, family, sadly, we're stuck with them whether we want them or not, but maybe you just don't invite them over as much. Stop hanging around with people who don't get it and start hanging around with people who do. Okay? So, yep. Yeah, and notice Kara is helping Patty. Deep breathing. Deep breathing. Yeah, it can be a lot. My youngest graduated last May and moved to Idaho last November. Idaho? We got an Idaho princess in here. Maybe you guys can hang out. So this is the first true no kids September. I miss them, but they are amazing. Yeah, there's that bittersweet thing. that you can see them growing and changing, So, yeah. Yeah, it could help to include your name from the social so people connect you and your identity in YouTube and TikTok. One of the things I'm going to do, just so people have an idea, one of the ideas that I had that sounded good to enough people is we will do a pen pal only Zoom call at some point in September. That's as specific as I can get right now. And that's where we can also exchange a lot of this information, okay? And get to know people, okay? So I offer to you that there's a comfort level as to that we all have. We have our comfort zone about what we share easily, and then we stop and say none of your goddamn business. Like the people who went door to door over in the Cotswolds asking people about their social media when the baby Vance was there, right? So I honor your comfort level. So that's what we'll do when we have this Zoom call, okay? So I love it. Marietta says, I organized and opened all my mail for the last month during this hour. You say thank me, but notice you are the one who did the thing. Thank yourself. Be proud of yourself for showing up and taking an action that you had not taken prior to this. I will take some of the credit. Why not? But I also want to make damn sure that you are giving yourself credit for all the stuff that you are doing, because this is why I don't go to your house and do it, because I want you to build your body of evidence and proof of where you showed up to do the transformation. So you have your evidence of what you've done. Okay? So, yay. All righty. Now, Tanya, the words of advice I could give you, honey bunch, you got to calm down your nervous system. You got to quiet down your brain, calm down your nervous system. Spinning out, tell me how to stop. Stop. Disrupt the unhelpful. Okay? If you were driving too fast in your car, tell me how to stop. I would say put on the brake, but you don't slam the brake because then your head's going to hit the windshield, right? No. Slow down your car, Tanya. Breathe down, slow down, foot down on the brake. Pull over to the side of the road into a slower lane. Slow down, calm down your nervous system. It's an easy 4-step process, making sure your body feels okay. So crown on down, calm down your nervous system, write down all the stuff that's been building up in your head, get it out of you, brain dump it onto paper. And then after that, chunk it down, categorize it, chunk it down. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So Patty, I see all the emotions. Okay. I see all the emotions. If mine moves away after college, we will be moving. So notice what I said earlier. Imagine yourself moving. It can be fearful, but start to envision where you would like to move, how it could be good for you. What don't you like about your current home now that you could pick a better home, a different home that doesn't have those issues? Start writing those things down, and suddenly that may feel good. Okay. All right, you guys, it's time to wrap it up. Therapy Gal Sue says, thank you, everyone. Hopefully I'll see some on Saturday at the decluttering party. Now, Carla told me she can't make it. She's got plans. That's fine. I will be there. Sue will be there. Other people will be there. This is the last declutter party we have scheduled until September, and I haven't even looked at the December thing. Okay. So I offer to you, show up for a declutter party, sign up for a declutter party. Listen to the videos as if they were daily podcasts. Write it down on your schedule when I am gone to show up with me, because I'll be there with you in spirit every day next week until I return. Listen to, pick a video, any video, and listen to it like a podcast. Let it help you. Okay. But luckily, we still have tomorrow's TikTok Live and YouTube Live and the declutter party before I am away for a couple of weeks. Okay. This has been help. Yes. And you know what, Patty? I think I'm ready, and then I'm not. That's okay. It's a mixture of both. It's never going to be 100% solid. So embrace it and know you'll be okay. You're not the first person this has happened to. You're not the last, and you are strong, and you will get through this. And you've got helpers who have gone through this before you, who are guiding you through this process. Okay. Kara is helping you, and there are other people helping too. Okay. I'm going to scoot. I've got shit to do. I've got some fun stuff here. Always a pleasure. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay.